here's Burdick, and here's Bruce. And a high fly ball, center field. He hit it a ton. It's gone. And the 2010 Central Division Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds. Jay Bruce explodes the first pitch into the grass in straightaway center field. He is being mobbed by his teammates. They met him at home plate. They ran him up the first base foul line. They're approaching the mound. The bullpenners are coming out, and everybody's getting in on the celebration at the mound as the crowd roars here at Great American Ballpark. The first pitch, he rockets onto the lawn in straightaway center field. His 22nd home run of the season, and this one belongs to the Reds.
What is up, everybody? I'm Cortland.
And I'm Justin.
Welcome to episode 5 of Better Off Reds, your weekly Reds talk show. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all your favorite podcasting apps. We do live shows every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube. Recordings of the shows are made available shortly after, and audio versions go on the podcasting apps later that night. So, Justin,
yeah,
as you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion.
I can see that. Yes, I like that.
We all saw we paid a little homage to Jay Bruce there in the intro to the video this week.
Yeah, calling it quits after 14 years in the major leagues. So,
yes,
heck of a career.
Yeah. And a fun one to be a part of.
Oh, yeah. He spent, how many years in Cincinnati? Was it 8 years, I think?
Yeah.
And then he went on to play for the Mets twice, Seattle, Philadelphia, and the Yankees.
He was also in Cleveland for a little bit, too.
He was in Cleveland. You're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean, he's a Cincinnati legend at this point because of that moment that we just saw. And, yeah, he'll be missed in the majors. And it's weird too, because it doesn't feel like he's old enough to retire.
Right.
You know? And it definitely makes me sad for the years to come as we start to see like Votto maybe take that next step as well.
Yeah, because he was in after Votto. He was a year after Votto in terms of like when they got into the league, like in the minors and everything. Yeah. And then Phillips was the other dude of the three main guys. So he's been gone for a while.
Yep. And
now there was only one.
Yeah. So it was a 14-year career that saw him win 2 Silver Sluggers and have 3 All-Star appearances. He's best known for his power, which of course we just saw in that clip a moment ago. He's definitely a lock for the Reds Hall of Fame. He is 8th all-time in Reds home runs with 233. And he finished his career with 1,455 hits, 319 home runs, 839 runs scored, 951 RBIs, and a career batting average of 244. So
not bad.
Yeah, have a good retirement, Jay Bruce. I see the comments already lighting up. Elijah Hamilton back to 500 could be worse. Let's just be happy we're at the bottom. Well, we've got a pretty rough road trip, and we'll talk about that. Elijah.
Check out the other comment.
What the heck?
Now, I will say he did talk about this on our spring training episode because I was very bold with my prediction about him. And I messaged back saying I'm just a very nostalgic person, but we will talk about him later. I think we can maybe convince Elijah of a little better mindset.
I mean, I can see that statement maybe a week into the season, but now he's lighting it up. So I'm a little confused by that. Elijah, if you'd like to maybe elaborate on that comment, I'd appreciate it. Cortland, how you been?
Good. I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch gears here. I have the Bruce attire. Okay, my backwards jersey. Let's get into this.
Okay.
I now have to represent it because something happened that we weren't thinking was going to happen. But I'm not bad.
Another bad take from Elijah Hamilton saying, "Buddy, I've wanted Votto traded for years." Yikes. I got to disagree with that comment.
And Elijah, Joey Votto watches this, so he's not going to be very happy.
He's a big fan of this show. Yeah. So, I mean, Clark says that I missed the part where we run Garrett out of town. He's out of options, minor league options, so I don't think we can run him out of town. I just hope that we can fix him.
I've had a lot of people messaging me this week Clark was kind of one of them too. Me and him actually had a little bit of conversation about it. But I actually had other people talking to me about the whole Garrett situation, and that's something else we'll get into later. There's just so much.
There's a lot to unpack this
Yeah.
week. So, how you doing? How was your week?
Not bad.
Not
Yeah, all the local schools in Ohio are doing their state end of year assessment, so I've been busy. But the Reds, I was hoping would be my saving grace from a busy day, and a couple days they were, and then a couple days they weren't, and I didn't want to do anything other than go to bed. So
I have managed to bottle up all that optimism after week one, and I'm just still hanging on to it.
Right.
Like every week since that first week, I'm like, yeah, they're still the best in baseball right now. And I think that bottle of optimism is almost empty. I'm really hoping that I get to refill it after this road trip. I've been just playing MLB The Show, and I've been sick all week. As you recall, last week I said I was going to go to the game today. I ended up not going because I've been under the weather all week. And I missed a major milestone, which we'll talk about here in a moment. I'm a little upset about that. But yeah, so you wanted to talk about your shirt?
Yes. Castellanos got suspended after everybody in the world in MLB thought it was a joke and that don't worry about it, like nothing was going to come of it. It happened, and he served both games. So
his appeal was denied.
I will let you elaborate on this because you were kind of hot. Like you were going off on Twitter and Facebook. Like you were not too happy. I mean, nobody was, but
yeah. So yeah. And like I was at the game, where it happened. I'm sure many of you were too. It was, I mean, he stood up and flexed on the guy that just plunked him, and then he was able to score a run on him. It's literally the baseball equivalent of dunking on somebody. He just dunked on that dude. He posterized him pretty much. He did posterize him. He's on your T-shirt right now. He's on my coffee mug upstairs that I got. So yeah, I mean, he stood up and he flexed. It's not his fault that Yadier Molina got, all bent out of shape about it. I'm sorry that this veteran catcher isn't man enough to not, be a crybaby about the littlest thing. I guess only they're allowed to celebrate, baseball plays, but it is what it is. It's behind us now, or is it? They played the Cardinals this week. But I thought the ejection during the game was too far.
Right.
And then when they suspended him, I thought, well, that's stupid. And then I have my notes here. The Padres, the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Indians, the White Sox, and the Brewers, each of those teams have had benches clearing scuffles this season, right? The whole thing that they said with Castellanos is that it was health and safety protocols. He was bringing people together that didn't need to be brought together. I guess that only happens in Cincinnati. I don't get it. Cortland, we lost your feed for a second. I'll keep talking about Castellanos. Oh, you're back. You're back.
I don't know what happened.
That's all right. I mean, I just don't get it. I guess that sort of thing only happens in Cincinnati. Maybe COVID only happens in Cincinnati. I don't get it. So I'm irritated. I am heated about it, as everyone should be. And Nick Castellanos' mother on Twitter, if you're not following her, you need to. She is a delight. The MLB posted, what's the best grab of the season? It was like outfielding plays where they were just, grabbing home runs or saving home runs, basically. And she said, Yadier Molina's net grab, and had the picture. I was like, man, she's killing it. So follow her if you don't. But it was just stupid. I am still heated. Now that you've got me talking about it, I'm heated.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, too, like you said, we've had all these other teams have benches clear in games. And there were like fines given and stuff like that, but like nobody was suspended. And like to say health and safety, like, I mean, I get it. Like, I guess I get it. I guess it's an excuse.
I mean, if you're going to say that, it needs to be consistent.
Right. Like if you're going to let one team clear a bench and then call it health and safety and then let four other teams do the same thing it was within weeks of each other.
Yeah.
Nothing changed. Like, so yeah, so obviously they're super inconsistent with their punishments.
Yeah. I mean, after seeing that and then what happens during game one of the Diamondbacks game, we'll talk about, they have it out for Cincinnati, it seems, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. You wouldn't think that was a team like we didn't think was going to amount to much in either there or here. And yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But let's jump into the first series.
Yeah, first series, Reds and Indians. I actually didn't get to watch this series on TV. It was the first series I didn't get to watch. I was out of town, and the blackout rules got me. So, Cortland, can you grace us with your knowledge?
like I talked about, we did the bonus recap this week on it. So game 1, Hoffman starts. It was a pretty anticipated series between the two, obviously for the Ohio Cup, but also they were both 7-5 coming into it. So Hoffman gets a start. He goes 6 innings for 7 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 1 home run against them. Nothing amazing, but it was good to see solid production out of one of the guys that's not such a big name. One of the guys we kind of have a question mark about.
Yeah.
So the Indians, he did okay. They jump out early in the 2nd inning. They hit a homer by Ahmed Rosario, but it did not deter the Reds. They jump out in the 3rd inning and score 7 runs. So Winker, Castellanos, and Suarez all got hits, and Votto added a 2-run homer at the end of the inning to make it 7-1 at the end of the 3rd. Castellanos had a homer later in the game at the bottom of the 6th, and Indians had a couple garbage time home runs in the very end of the game. So the Reds win big by 10-3. So,
Rick Bowman says, quit whining about the umpires. It seems to me there's a lot more to be worried about at the moment. You are right. You're 100% right. A lot of things are working, and there's one major thing not working, and we'll talk about that.
I don't think we were whining about the umpires, though.
MLB overall.
Yeah, we're whining about the commissioners, not the umpires.
Yeah, Drew has some comments about Amir Garrett again. He did not have to make that apology video, by the way. Yeah, you are exempt probably for the season. Cortland, I'm sorry.
But anyways, so 10-3, they come home and they turn it back on. Like, this is what everybody wanted. We're excited. They just absolutely go off in a 3rd inning for 7 runs, and Votto starts heating up. So everything's looking great. And then comes game 2. Not such a high scoring affair, but we get Sonny Gray back. So he makes his season debut, and he does it in an extra innings thriller. This game, I talked about it in the recap, it's probably been the best game I have seen all season. I mean, not just being biased towards the Reds, but like across the MLB, this was a awesome game. So Gray comes in, he pitches for 4 innings. He has 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 1 home run against them. It's a decent game from him coming back from injury. He had over 70 pitches in just 4 innings. So there's a couple of kinks he's got to probably get worked out. But to get 70 out of him and have 6 strikeouts, and the hits did not turn into runs for him. So that was good. It was probably a good game back that really got his confidence up. Barnhart gets another homer in this game. He gets the Reds up 1-0 after 2 innings. Then Cleveland gets 2 scores. They get a home run in the 3rd, or excuse me, not a home run. They get a score in the 3rd and a home run in the 4th. So back-to-back innings, they score. It's up 2-1. Votto has an amazing triple play late in this game to keep the Reds within 1 to give them a chance. So we're in the bottom of the 9th. We got people on base. Jesse Winker's up. There's 2 outs on the inning and 2 strikes against him, and he hits an absolute shot, and Senzel scores the tying run in the bottom of the 9th. I think they had other guys on, but he did not. I don't remember who was up after Winker, but they struck out. So we go into extra innings, and the Indians put guys on base in the top of the 10th, but nothing happened. They get stranded and give the Reds a chance. So in the bottom of the 10th, we get guys on base again, and Tyler Stevenson gets up and hits a line drive to right field to send Suarez home with the game-winning run. Blah. So the Reds won 3-2. So we take the series lead and the series after 2 games. So everything's looking great. Did you see anything at all, or did you just watch the replays and the highlights? I'm sure you saw Votto's triple play because of.
Oh, yeah, I saw the triple play. John Boy did a breakdown of it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's
I don't
good.
know if you've seen that or
if
not.
anybody hasn't watched John Boy Media and his baseball breakdowns, his sports breakdowns, they're pretty great.
They're
too.
So good. He actually did a breakdown of that Bobcat video. Did you watch that?
Oh, no.
I sent it to you. You need to watch it.
I saw the video. That video was crazy, too.
He does a breakdown of it. It's pretty amazing.
So we're up 2-0. But then comes the reigning AL Cy Young winner, Shane Bieber. and he absolutely lights up the Reds. He goes for 8 innings, pitches 104 pitches, and 13 strikeouts. I believe he tied Nolan Ryan for the most strikeouts in the first 4 starts of a season, and they took him out. So he could have beat that record, but they had a commanding lead, and there was nothing that they needed to really do, so they saved him. I think he pitched a game earlier that week, and he had 121 pitches, so they were really using him a lot. But he didn't hit us, and he didn't throw a perfect game, Justin, I
didn't say he was going to. I said if anyone is going to, it would be him.
So he just pitched really good, and it was enough the Reds couldn't come back from it. So Miley pitched for the Reds in that game. He did a pretty decent job. He pitched 5 innings, had 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs.
They gave up his first run of the season.
Yeah. And he had 1 walk and 5 Ks. So
he still has a good ERA. I was looking up Jeff Hoffman's stats a moment ago. He's Jeff Hoffman's actually pretty good so far. He's got a 2.66 ERA.
I think Miley's got a 2.85.
Yeah. Our starting pitching is pretty good.
I'm
not
the other side of
that yet.
But yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. So Drew has another comment here. He overheard that the starting pitchers are going to flatten the tires of Garrett's Ferrari, so he misses the flight out of St. Louis. Yikes. Okay. I love Amir Garrett. I do. I am frustrated with Amir Garrett. I hope he can snap out of it. Because we need him. I mean, he's a dominant pitcher when he's locked in, and we just haven't seen that yet. So hopefully he can work through whatever it is, because we need him. We need him real bad.
So Reds lost game 3 to close that up.
Excuse me.
So what about another series, Justin?
Yeah, the Diamondbacks. Stop loving this guy. Amir Garrett's ERA epic. I can't help it. All right. So the Reds went on to play the Diamondbacks, a revenge series, after they lost 2 games in Arizona earlier in the year. Game 1, Castillo kind of had another rough first inning, really. Overall, he went 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. I don't know if I'm ready to hit the panic button yet. It was another cold night.
I hit it the first game of the season, and I am still hitting it.
He's in warm weather games. He's doing well.
I don't care. It does not matter. You play for the Cincinnati Reds. It does not matter for warm weather or not. You got to produce, man.
As you can see from the video here, it was raining very hard.
Yes.
The umpires did not care. They let the game continue.
He threw 3 balls straight to the left batter's box. I mean, no joke. Like, if there was a left batter there, it would have beamed the guy in the head 3 times in a row, and they didn't call it. That was tough. To go back to Rick Bowman's comment, I wasn't happy with the umps and that, because they kept trying to give Sims the ball there, because they're like, what are we doing? Like, we can't play like this. Yeah. And he threw Sims 3 different balls on the mound, and Sims kept throwing them to the dugout. He's like, I'm not throwing balls in these conditions. And then they call it after he had walked a batter to go up 5-4.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have been 5-4. Good old Castillo kind of lets down on that one again. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, so weather got really bad. They had to suspend the game in the 8th inning. Picked up yesterday. The awful conditions did lead to Antone and Garrett and Sims both pitching poorly. The game, they lost the game 5-4, so they're now down 1 game. Game 2, this one's another heartbreaker. We had Jacob deGrom on the mound, and by that I mean Tyler Mahle. Jacob deGrom, if you're not familiar, has pitched brilliantly this season and had his bullpen blow up and give away countless wins. That kind of happened to Tyler Mahle yesterday, who went 6 2/3 of 2 hit shutout baseball, 2 walks and 9 strikeouts. And so far, my prediction before the season is correct. He is the Reds' best pitcher at the moment.
He's lighting it up.
Yes, he is. Reds, they go up 3-0 going into the 9th inning.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Pretty good. You know, I'm going to go ahead and throw Drew's comment back up about the ERA. Epic.
I'm going to add something. I saw on Twitter today that the percentage to win the game was 96.7% when Amir came in.
Gosh,
it hurts. That was terrible to watch.
Yeah. So they bring Amir in, and he gives up 2 walks and then faces off against former Red Josh Van Meter, guy who was decent in the minor leagues. Nothing that great in the majors. I mean, he was okay.
Yeah.
Crushes a 3-run homer to tie the game.
Absolutely bombs a curveball left over the middle of the plate at 86 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That was it was a terrible pitch, and I think anybody could have absolutely smashed that thing.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that Amir's not going to work as the closer now. I've defended him quite a bit. I'm sorry, Drew. I do love Amir Garrett. I think he's got a lot of fire. It's just he's not able to use that fire to do anything productive. We have seen him in the past be efficient. So I'm still holding out hope that he can fix whatever's wrong. If it's mechanics, if it's mental, whatever it is, he needs to work through it, or he's not going to have a job. That's just how baseball works.
Right.
So he's probably not going to work. But the problem is Amir's not the only problem. The entire bullpen is a wreck. If your name's not Lucas Sims or TJ Antone, you're probably not that good.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Okay. He says over or under for blown saves. How many is he at now? I feel like he's at least 2, right?
Gosh, yeah.
I mean, I think the over would be 4. I think that would have to be it's definitely going to be over. Well, maybe not. They don't give him another shot. I don't know. I can't imagine them running him out there again for a while. But the problem is going to do it.
Why don't they just give him a shot in the mid? Don't put him in. Like, obviously he hasn't been able to do it. Like, just throw him in when we're in the middle of a game, when it's either give him an opportunity to do something. I'm not saying throw him in when we're up 10-0, but like if we have an okay lead, not even an okay lead, if it's a close game, throw him out there in the 5th inning and give him an inning or 2 and see what he can do. That way we have at least more than a half of an inning to catch up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm with you. Like, I love his attitude and I love what he brings for the clubhouse, but for what they're trying to do with him, it's just not working.
Yeah. I'm going to finish up this part about game 2 and then I'll go to the comments. But so they go to extra innings. Reds are 2-0 in extra innings this year, but now they're 2-1. Perez gives up 3 runs. De Leon gives up 2. This is just in extra innings, by the way. This isn't over the course of like the game. This is just in extra innings.
In the 10th, right?
Yeah. It's now an 8-3 games. The Reds do score 2 more runs in the bottom of the 10th, but it's not enough. And for the second time this year, the Reds have lost a series to the Diamondbacks. Let's see. Rick Bowman says, how about we just let the starters pitch longer instead of taking them out every game? Even when they are pitching well, starting pitchers used to pitch complete games. Does anyone know what that is? I agree. I actually thought Malley was pulled out too early the other day.
Yeah. Well, look
honestly,
at Bieber. Bieber's coming in and throwing 120 pitches. Like, he's throwing 8-inning games.
Yeah.
And they're giving him enough break in between, and he's lighting dudes up. Like, I feel, like Malley, like you said, like he's turned into that guy. Like, I feel we have a couple of guys that are the ones that we're questioning that they're not getting ample time to do. I mean, they're doing good with what they're getting, but what's it matter if they come in for 1.2 innings and throw 4 strikeouts? Like, great, thanks for the 4 strikeouts, but they can just come in and give a closer the game.
Drew says, talking to Rick Bowman, it's 50 degrees, too early to risk an injury.
Yeah, the weather doesn't matter, Drew. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's dumb.
I kind of get easing Sonny Gray back into it, where he's coming from an injury. But there's no reason. Yeah, Castillo got himself into a mess. Let him get out of it. The bullpen's a mess. I would honestly, Castillo after the first inning has been great. After the first inning, every game. I mean,
he's just giving up so much.
The damage is done in the first.
Yeah.
Let him run out there for 7 innings. I mean, if his pitch count isn't too high.
He really does. As much as I crap on him, like, he gives up too many runs in the first inning, but he finds his groove. For some reason, he can't find it when the game starts, but he does kind of turn it around and start throwing his strikes that everybody can't hit. So, yeah, it's kind of like, I guess, a panic button thing. I mean, as the fan watching, you're also like, hit the button, like, get him out of there. We don't want any more runs. So
I think David Bell needs to trust Jeff Hoffman and Wade Miley a little more. I mean, I know it's a small sample size, but we're almost a month in. They both have pitched well.
And the guys he knows aren't doing it. So, yeah,
I trust them to go an extra inning more than I trust Jose De Leon to come in and keep the lead intact.
Right.
Game 3 was today. The game starts off with a Winker home run.
Yeah.
Great start. Hoffman did go 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts. I think his pitch count was in the 80s, but I'm probably wrong. The bullpen implodes, giving up 6 runs. That was actually early on in the game, I think, during regulation. Castellanos, Suarez, and Votto each hit homers. Winker hits a second homer. And Jonathan India hits his first career home run. I was supposed to be at this game today. And
You would have been at the Castellanos stealing home game and Jonathan Indian's first home run game. That would have been the 2 games you went to this year.
Yeah. I was at Scooter Jeanette's 4 home run game. I was at a game one time where they were getting beat to death by the Astros, but I bought a split the pot ticket, stuck around, and won.
Golly,
I have weird luck at Reds games whenever I go. I usually see I went when the power stacks caught on fire one time.
Jeez.
I have really weird luck at Reds games, and I didn't go. But whoever bought my tickets on StubHub, I hope you had a great time. And yeah, I'm jealous. He had his first career home run, though. It was long overdue, I felt like, and I'm sure it feels good to finally get that burden lifted. Blandino has come up clutch the last couple of games. He's hitting .417 on the year. I kind of would rather see him instead of Farmer out there, just being honest.
Yeah, and it's just the experience thing. We've had Farmer for forever, and he's been in and out for forever.
Yeah,
like at least compared to Blandino. So he might actually start turning into the guy that they put in for the side, especially if he's batting .417. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Here's a shot of India's first home run. I'll play it while I talk. Defense continues to be a problem. Suarez, India, they both kind of make some boneheaded moves over the last several games, really. There was kind of a back and forth game for most of it. The Reds kept fighting back, and they did force extra innings. They were tied at 8. Same thing happened again. The D-backs put up 6 runs in the top of the 10th. Like, you don't even make it like a realistic goal. I mean, they could score 7 runs to beat them, but I mean, it's not likely.
Right.
The Reds did put up 3 runs of their own, but couldn't match and lost 11-4. And it's crazy to me that they put up 11 runs in a game, and we're talking about them losing. Not only just losing a series, they were swept by the Diamondbacks, who I believe are 7-10 in their division. It's not good. And like Widener, the pitcher Widener, he's been brilliant all season. The Reds have beat him up both times.
Yeah,
but they can't win a game. I don't understand. The Reds hit 6 home runs and still lost. The bullpen walked 7 batters today, 5 yesterday, and 5 the day before. That's just the bullpen. The hitting is there. Starting pitching is there. The bullpen and defense needs some work, specifically the bullpen. I think we can let a few errors slide here and there. Maybe.
And I think I think the momentum swings too. Like, I think it was different at the beginning of the season. Like, the bullpen was doing good. Like, our starting pitchers weren't doing great at the beginning of the season. So our people that were making plays, like, it kind of kept the flow going. And now they know, like, especially if like Castillo or somebody's coming in and giving up 4 or 6 runs, and then they're like, oh crap, like, they're going to pull him and they're going to put in these other guys that are giving up 6 runs in a half of an inning. Like, how am I supposed to compete if they're going to score 14 runs? I mean, they're professionals. They know what they're doing, but it's just, I think it would be partially a mindset thing too on the defense side of it.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
So like I said, the bullpen's not working. And I tweeted this from the Better Off Reds Twitter account, but while the Reds are gone on their road trip, every scout that the Reds have need to be checking out relief pitchers at other organizations, in other countries, in the minor leagues. You got to find one. I don't care if they come back to Cincinnati in a week and it's an entirely new bullpen. They've got to do something. There's got to be some free agent reliever out there that maybe was asking for too much money in December and didn't get it, and now he's sitting at home watching the games. You can't tell me he's not a better option than Perez and whoever else is giving up runs, Fulmer or something.
Who's the guy they signed? They dropped Bergerson, and they picked up.
I forgot his name. The guy from Cincinnati, from the Rockies.
Yeah. I
forget his
name. Heath Hembree.
That's 100% not right. I know for a fact that that's not right.
Who? Oh, Kevin Valdez. Nope. No. Where am I at?
I don't know what his name is.
I can't find it.
It's all right.
They dropped Bergerson.
Hopefully next week we talk about him and we're like, oh my God, and we're so happy we got that reliever and he's amazing. And that's just one piece. But
Philip Deal.
Or Deal.
Deal. I don't know how you say his last name.
I think it's Deal, yeah.
We have him, but they also just claimed somebody else. I got to find it, but
I didn't
continue
know
talking.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the bullpen needs an overhaul. If I mean, these pitchers have shown. I mean, I know it's a small sample size, but it's not working. They've got to do something. They've got to mix it up. I think everyone, and I know that Drew will disagree. Anyone not named Garrett, Sims, or Antone, or Doolittle, maybe, should be at risk of losing their job. I think Amir just needs to settle into a regular relief role. I think he's not mentally ready to take on the closer role. That being said, I don't know who is. Maybe Sims. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Antone, but they have starting pitcher aspirations for him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Balake. I don't know. Was that their names, Cortland? I'm not sure what that comment is.
I'm looking.
He says, "Come on, Cortland." LOL.
I didn't get to
Gosh,
save it. I saw it, but I didn't
the
get to save
worst. No, I'm kidding.
it.
But yeah. So the Reds, we went in. I think we both said they'd win 2 out of 3 games. Maybe we even said they'd sweep the Diamondbacks. I don't know. And they won 2 out of 6 games. So that's where we are.
Art Warren, they reclaimed him from the training site.
Okay.
After they dropped Bergersian.
Okay. And you could even say the Reds took 2 from the better team that they played out of this homestand.
Yeah.
But we need to talk about what's going on around the division.
Well, it was good while it lasted. The Reds are now second in the division behind the Brewers. So the Reds are 9-9 after today. The Cubs
500 baseball.
Yeah, I mean, again, the Diamondbacks are kind of the odd one out with the teams they've been playing. Okay, like to take 2 from Cleveland and to get the Diamondbacks are just kind of the weird one that we probably shouldn't have lost many 2 as we did. Anyways, so we're 9-9. The Cubs have lost 2 of 3 to the Braves, and they won 2 of 3 to the Mets. They're currently playing with the Mets. They were currently playing with the Mets earlier today.
No, they're playing right now.
They're playing right now.
3-2 in the top of the 4th. Cubs winning at the moment.
And so they're 8-9 right now as this game is going. The Brewers won 1 out of their 3 to the Pirates and swept the Padres. They're on fire. So they're sitting at 11-7 right now. So they got a 2-game lead. It was another bad week for the lowly Cardinals. Ugh, you got me tongue-tied there. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Phillies and 2 out of 3 to the Nats. They are 8-10 and they're last in the division. So that's on the plus side, man.
Let's give them a round of applause for being so crappy.
And we can't wait. We can't wait for this series coming up. It's going to be very, very fun to watch. So the Pirates won 2 of 3 against the Brewers, who are 11-7, and 2 out of 3 against the Tigers, and they're 9-10. So
I don't know what's going on with the Pirates.
I don't either because I don't know how they're doing it. Like,
without Brian Hayes, too,
right? And it's not to say that we're stacked. I mean, but we have a pretty well-rounded team, I feel.
Yeah.
They just kind of have nobody. They just have these nobody people. But hey, man, more power to them. Like,
when they get Brian Hayes back, if this isn't just like a fluke, I mean, they're going to be
pushing for the top. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, this division, I mean, after the first week, or the first, not week, gosh, like 3 weeks, this division, it's showing everyone that it's really anyone's game except maybe the Cardinals because they're so bad. But
so we're still second. And I predicted that. That was my bold prediction that we would finish second. I didn't think it would be Brewers on top, but hey, they're absolutely annihilating teams. So more power to them. And I'm glad it's not the Cardinals because that's what I said. So
remember when we traded Raisel Iglesias for Noe Ramirez? Then we cut Noe Ramirez and then the Angels got him back. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I wish we had Raisel Iglesias back. Sorry, just a thought I had thinking about the bullpen woes.
All right. So speaking of bullpen woes, let's talk about some things that might be good / might be bad in the coming weeks, Justin.
Okay. What's that? The injuries?
Yeah.
Injury update. So Shogo Akiyama is still planning on an early May return. There's been no real news to report on that. So
he was running full speed at the Cleveland batting practices. He was running bases at full speed. So they're probably just being precautious. But yeah, he was out there. They said no hesitation. They weren't giving him any commands to like slow it down. They were kind of letting him do whatever he wanted.
Good. So
it's probably a precautionary thing, the early May return, but hey, I'm fine with that.
Awesome. Mike Moustakas, no idea what's going on with him. He was scratched with a non-COVID related illness. took a few games off. Then he was set to be in the lineup, I believe, on Tuesday night. He was on the lineup card, and then they scratched him again and put him on the IL. So I hope he's okay. I hope it's nothing serious.
Yeah.
I think they said he could return at the beginning of the Dodgers series that's coming up. I hope we don't have to face Trevor Bauer or any of their pitchers. God, their team is good. They're like 12 and 14 or something.
Yeah, that's where we turn it around.
Maybe that'd be a big win.
We sweep the Cards and then we turn it around against the Dodgers.
Sweep the Dodgers, yeah.
Yeah.
Make the former or the reigning National League Cy Young winner look foolish. Yep. Why did you leave? Aquino kind of came out of nowhere. He's going to miss 5 to 6 weeks with a fractured hand. So hopefully, we kind of saw a spark, some decent hitting early on, and then it kind of went downhill. Maybe the hand was fractured then. Right. Maybe we'll see him turning it around. Maybe we could trade.
A very hard swing too. So I mean, when he's connecting with those balls, he swings the bat so freaking hard. If he had any kind of pre-existing condition, I'd see that thing just absolutely shattering if he connected with a ball.
Oh yeah. Perhaps though we could trade either him or Naquin or
anybody,
and maybe Shogo. I don't know
for Luis Castillo.
No, for maybe some relief pitching. I think that would be a good investment right now since we are stacked in the outfield and light in the bullpen. So that's our injury update. Cortland, let's talk about some weekly awards.
Let's do it. I'll go first.
We need to come up with like a graphic and some music for this part. Play of the week. We both have the same play of the week, and it's because it's so awesome. And that's the triple play that Votto pulled off. Amazing. Doesn't happen that often.
And you
got to see it.
Yeah, and he was like it was. I know Elijah said that he lost service earlier, but like this is where we're going to kind of start giving him credit where credit is due. You can tell he still is just wanting to play at the highest level possible. He pulled that play off, and he was just so pumped. Ran into the dugout. The clip, if you find it and watch him run into the dugout, like everybody in the dugout looks like they're 6-year-old kids, and they're like, yeah, like they're all just giving high fives, and he
does the 3-finger high five.
Yeah,
it's cool.
But triple play, no doubt.
Let's see. Hitter of the week. I'm going to go with Joey Votto.
Yeah.
In the last week, he's hitting .389. That does not include today's game. With 1 home run, 2 home runs now, 4 RBI. I don't know how many RBIs he had today, but he's just lighting it up. And it's good to see him have this resurgence. On the year, he's only batting .247, but in the last week, he is dominating.
Yes. Winker. I liked Votto too. Their stats are pretty much identical. He's just been where he was out there for a couple of games since he's come back. The last 7 games, his attitude's been awesome, and he's been batting .323 with 2 home runs now after today. And again, I don't know how many RBIs after today, but he's just lighting it up and leading off. He loves the leadoff spot. I love seeing him in the leadoff spot because he's doing what a leadoff batter should do, and that's hit.
He's batting .373 with 3 home runs and 9 RBI.
Yeah, he's on fire.
Yeah, he is. He is locked in. I think he could be an all-star.
What about the pitcher of the week?
Pitcher of the week. No one in the bullpen, that's for sure. Maybe Lucas Sims for that epic, throwback with the umpire. But I'm gonna go with Tyler Mahle. I mean, I said before the season, I'm a big fan of Mahle. I have been for a few years now. He's my guy. So I think what his performance was it yesterday? Gosh, it feels so long ago.
Yeah,
was just very dominant and 6 2/3 with 9 strikeouts. Yeah, that's my performance of the week for pitching.
And he probably would have had more, like you said. He got pulled probably a little too early. But my guy, which again they're kind of grooming this guy to I think be a starter more than anything. TJ Antone. So across 6 games, he's pitched 10.2 innings. He has an ERA of .84, 17 strikeouts, and a WHIP of .75. So when he gets in, he's getting in sporadically.
Wait a minute, he has 17 strikeouts in 10 innings?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
He's lighting it up. But I want to see him get more of a either starting role. Again, heck, I'd like to see him be the closer. I mean, look at those numbers and don't tell me you don't put him in the 9th inning with a 3-run lead.
I mean, I think I think him or Sims is definitely your best bet at closer going forward. The only thing about Antone, though, is that he could eat up 3 or 4 innings if you have a bad pitcher, like a bad starting pitcher performance.
And he's kind of, I know they're kind of evaluating him to be that guy, but
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't get a closer,
we need like 5 of him.
Right. Yeah. Then we can just spread them out everywhere. Exactly. But yeah, TJ Antone, let's lighten it up. What about your biggest surprise, Justin?
Mine's a little snarky. The incompetence of the MLB while handling the Castellanos suspension.
Not the umpires.
Not the umpires. The MLB. And the monsoon at Great American Ballpark. That is kind of the umpires. That game, they should have called it. That was ridiculous. But it is what it is. It happened. It's in the past. Move on. Do better next time. Right?
The whole thing with the Reds kind of getting screwed with these, whether it be the MLB suspension and like the weather thing, was safety. Like they were like, like they're trying to say like, oh no, we want safety. Like you can't have benches clearing balls because of safety. Oh, there's a monsoon and it's sleeting snow and ice, and your pitches are literally going nowhere that you want them to go. You don't want to bean a guy in the head, but we're still going to play. Like it just makes no sense. They're complete polar opposites of what has happened. Again, all umpires are different. I think the guy that called the other game for them would have called it. For some reason, that guy, his calls weren't going in favor. I mean, it happens. That's their job. Yeah. But yeah, I'm right there with you. Just I hope all that stuff is said and done and over with, and we can move on from it and have a good road series. So my biggest surprise, and this one's for old Drew. Me and him were talking about this earlier today. David Bell's response to leaving Garrett in. I just think from a sports mindset that if a guy's not performing consistently, I understand backing him up. Like I get that. He's a professional athlete. You have to back him up. I understand that. But you cannot tell me that you do not take him out. You can't keep giving him the chance. Like he's lost his opportunity, I feel, to prove himself right now. So
got some kind words from Austin there saying this podcast is exactly what I needed. Thanks, Austin. Appreciate that.
But yeah, I get defending your players, and I think David Bell is a great manager at doing that. Like he is a team player, but how many times does it have to happen? How many times do we have to have a shutout and it get lost because of I'm quoting somebody, I don't know who it was, because of feelings. Like you kind of got to have some tough love.
Yeah.
Garrett's got the mindset that he's big and bad, and he is, and he has been, but David Bell needs to be like, you're not that guy right now. So you need to sit down for a little bit until we can figure it out. Yeah. And he's just like, no, Amir Garrett's an amazing pitcher and he's going to be in, and I'm not going to take him out. Like, okay, I hope he doesn't do it again, but I thought he would give him a little bit more resistance in what he's been doing. But yeah, he's good. He's a good player manager, so they like him for that reason. But that was my biggest surprise.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I'm just depressed about this bullpen. Let's look ahead, shall we?
Let's go. Let's get fired up. Let's get fired up.
Let's go. All right. So the Reds go on another road trip. They will take on the Dirty Redbirds of St. Louis, trashy town. If you've ever been, you probably never want to go back.
I've never been. I'm not going to trash. I think I would like to go to St. Louis.
Not
to watch a baseball game, but
Travis,
I'll go watch a baseball game.
I wonder if Travis is watching that. He lived in St. Louis for a couple of years, and he seemed to like it all right. So it might be okay.
You have to get a comment from him. You have to like record him like it's like a mock interview. You get a comment. So you lived in St. Louis. Can you comment on what that city's like?
I had asked him if he wanted to go to that game with me today before I got sick, and he couldn't go. But then today he texted me and was like, we'll have to go to a game later this season. When do they play the Cardinals again? And I said, I will never walk in that building with you when they're playing the Cardinals. I can't aid and embed a Cardinals fan into the stadium, the ballpark.
He already missed his opportunity, and we absolutely crapped on them. So
yeah. So it's gonna be a tough road trip. 3 in St. Louis against the Cardinals, and then with no off day, 3 in LA against the Dodgers too. Like I said, they are on fire. I'll look up their standings right now. If I had to make a prediction on wins and losses, I'm going to say they're going to win 2 out of 3 in St. Louis. I kind of hope that there's a little retaliation. I'm not going to lie. I hope we hit them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's unsportsmanlike. I don't know, but I don't play sports, so it doesn't matter. Dodgers are 14-4. It's a league best record. Yeah. Wow. Gosh, they are dominant.
Hey, what better way though to keep everybody feeling it though? If we can go in, I mean, I don't see us sweeping the Dodgers, but if we can go in and give them a good series, I mean, gosh, we were praising the Pirates for playing 4 good games against the Padres. Yeah. So if we can go in and play good and maybe still 1 or 2 against them, I'll take that. I want to sweep St. Louis just because of all the crap that has kind of came after the fact from it. It's just lingered too long. Like it was fun when it happened, but now it's like affected the team. And I'm just like, I want them to go in and just steamroll them. I don't want to fight. I want them to just beat them by 15 each game.
Yeah. I think against the Dodgers, I think it's possible they could get swept again. I mean, they just got swept against the Diamondbacks.
Right.
I hope not. I hope that they're embarrassed. I hope that they kind of have that fire under them. I hope there are some changes. It's going to be hard to tell until we get there. Right. I think the team, we saw them put up 11 runs today. Unfortunately, we saw them give up 14. So, I mean, if they can put up 11 runs, but, keep the Dodgers under 11, then we're good.
Yeah.
Or any kind of scenario like that. It's just, who knows? Baseball's weird. It's complicated. So we see what happens.
We still have like 140 games left.
Yeah,
so
just barely scratching the surface. Who did the Dodgers lose to? Probably the Padres. I'm going to pull up their schedule.
What should be the Pirates?
The Pirates swept them. Let's see here. They lost to the Rockies the first game of the season.
They weren't supposed to. Yeah, I remember that.
They lost to the Oakland A's, who are on a tear right now. I think they're like on an 11-game win streak or something.
Yes.
They lost to Seattle and San Diego. So those are their 4 wins.
Over in Oakland.
All right. So they haven't lost to a team more than once. They've won every series they've played.
Well, that's about to change, LA Dodgers.
Hopefully. Who do they play this coming up? Oh, they play the Padres again for 4 games, and then they play us. And I have to imagine that hopefully they'll be tired when they play us.
Right,
I don't know. Gosh, that's kind of a nice schedule for them, though. They're playing Seattle. They go from San Diego, Seattle to San Diego, back to LA, and we're going from Cincinnati to St. Louis to LA all in like 2 days.
Dang, and they just played their series with the Padres 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Or 4 days ago.
Again for four more.
And they only beat the Mariners by 1 when they beat them.
Yeah.
So, hey, this is doable. This is doable.
They're hitting, actually.
Reds
they're not
fans.
putting up as many runs, I don't think.
That's just the pitching. We just got to be able to hit.
Interesting. Maybe a sweep. Who knows?
And then they go to play the Brewers and the Cubs after us. So we need these games. We need a majority of these games.
They play the Brewers and Cubs after us?
Yeah, right after.
I need us to sweep the Dodgers, and I need them to beat the snot out of the Brewers and the Cubs. Just beat them to death. Gosh, how many runs scored have they had? I do want to compare that. The Reds have scored 111 runs. The Dodgers scored 94.
Oh, look at that.
Now, the Reds have given up
57
runs.
We had 57 at the first homestand.
What?
We had 57 at our first homestand.
Our numbers are a little inflated.
Yeah.
Yikes. Our run differential's plus 17. We're still in the positive. The Dodgers run differential's 38. Oh, my God. They might beat the snot out of us. Who knows?
Nah, we got this. Positive.
Yeah, we got this.
We've got to be positive that the optimism bottle is filling back up.
Be positive. It's filling back up.
Yeah.
We're going to be high on optimism for the next month, and that's all we need. All right. Cortland, do you have anything else you want to add?
I don't. Again, thank you to everybody. The numbers keep growing. The comments keep coming. It's really exciting. We love doing it. Even when they have a crappy week, this makes the week all worth it. So we're excited that everybody likes to jump on and comment with us and watch the video. And just please like and share and leave a comment and a review. It greatly helps us.
Hopefully we're all recording Amir Carrot apology
Yeah.
videos, which we didn't do that this week because no one needed an
Nobody
apology.
deserved an apology. Not a
Yeah.
single person.
Yeah.
We could have did praise, I guess, but we don't want to get their heads too big. So
yeah, we know that they watch the show on like their flights and their bus trips.
right.
So
I mean, they already hear us talk
we don't
about
want to
it,
mess them up. Actually, someone told me that Drew, that's actually that's Lucas Sims' burner account, and he's trying to get the closer job. Kidding. It's not. But yeah, so join us next week. We'll talk about the series against the Cardinals and the Dodgers. I don't think the Reds have an off day next Thursday, do they?
Don't think so. No,
I don't think they might have an off day. We'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Cortland said, share us with your friends, leave us a review, follow, subscribe, like, tweet, whatever. Yeah. And that's it for this week. Thank you, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.